they're everything. So a person to go out and open their small business, they're not going to be successful. But if you're behind a network marketing company that is successful, you have a big company behind you to help you become successful.
Exactly. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for joining me. I really, really appreciate the time, and I'm looking forward to this conversation. I've been looking forward to it all week since we last chatted. You mentioned a little bit of your story to me last week when we were talking, and I could not wait to get into it in a bit more detail. So what I'd like to do, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to kick off with you giving me this incredible story of the Metabolife and that entire journey that you went on, which just blew me away, I'll be honest with you. I couldn't believe it when you told me.
Yeah, Richard, thanks for having me. Um,
My pleasure.
the Metabolife story is a very interesting story. I was never in network marketing. What I did is I designed a product that ended up being one of the best weight loss products ever designed. It was by sheer accident. I was making something for my father, who was dying of cancer. And so, I figured I wanted to market this product, and we all know what the barriers to entry are to going into retail stores and all that with slotting and everything. So I thought of network marketing, but personally, I'd never been in network marketing, and everything I knew about network marketing, I did not want to be involved in. And so, I looked at a lot of different programs that are out there. I went to those things where people were pitching you all where they're trying to recruit people. And I thought, I'm looking at network marketing as like kind of like a franchise in a way, where I have all these people out there that would be selling a product that actually the consumer wants. And and then I would go out and I would market that product and make it very familiar to the consumer, so that my distributors are out there selling wouldn't have to they wouldn't have to sit there and try to sell them on something that would have already been pre-sold and they were a point of purchase. And so
And when you say you were marketing it, are you talking about like a below the line and above the line advertising?
yeah, what I was doing is that I went directly. I went at radio, and on the heights of that, I was spending $90 million a year advertising on radio, then television, even the American Super Bowl. And what it did is it built a demand for the product for my distributor. Most network marketing companies, what they do is they get people on, they recruit them on, and then have them go out and have them try to sell it and recruit more people. I looked at it as two different ways. One, I have a product people want. That's important. The consumer has to want that product. And then the other aspect is that I would reward distributors that would bring other distributors on that would be out selling the product. So they were making income at both ends of the deal. And most network marketing companies, the money is made by the company from the distributor. I didn't look at it that way. I looked at the consumer would bring money to the company. And so I did just a unilateral pay plan, very simple. And for this interview, I even did some notes to kind of what I would tell somebody if they're getting in network marketing, how to approach it. Because people do things emotionally without really digging in and looking at it analytically if that business can work for them. And I also took into account that most people cannot sell. It's very difficult for people to sell. So you can't teach a person how to sell. You can tell them all the things to say, but you still haven't taught them how to sell and close a sale. So I wanted to close the sale for them with all my advertising and proving that my products worked. And then it made it much easier for the distributor to succeed. Just like if you had a franchise and the parent company's out advertising for people to come to your store. And that's the way I approach network marketing.
Yeah, so you were creating a demand, and your agents basically became a point of contact where people could put in an order.
Correct. And so I made it very simple for them to do that. And I think that that's what I would look at. Most network marketing companies never advertise. In fact, the consumer didn't even know we were a network marketing company. And then they said, "Oh, you sell Metabolife?" And then what happened was our product became so popular, consumers would sign up to be a distributor just so they can get the product at a reduction in price. So,
Yeah.
there's two aspects of network marketing. It's one, the retail product. If you have a product that you haven't generated demand for, then the distributor's only out there getting other distributors to buy and come in so that they can make upline checks. I did it differently. Now, the product, so people have to understand my product was a consumable weight loss product. And that tablet outsold the complete cold, flu, sinus, and pain remedy of Tylenol. People know what Tylenol is. And
Yeah.
so annually, we just blew everybody away. And it was because of the marketing and the product work and because of our distribution. It was unique the way we did it. In fact, some of our distributors even opened up retail sites selling our products, and they were a network marketing company. So
And tell me something, at your peak, what kind of volumes were you doing?
we were doing $1 billion a year on that one product.
That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
That is
Yeah,
insane.
it was a phenomenal ride. But I think the Metabolife.
Now, if you were doing $1 billion, can I just ask, was that $1 billion at wholesale or was that $1 billion at retail? And how much commission do you think you were paying out overall out of that $1 billion?
When we do $1 billion, we always do a network marketing. They always do the retail. Okay, but our company also sold product directly to the consumer. We never discounted. And so if you looked at it, it's probably 750 million just on that one product, not the rest of our line. And so, it was just a very unique way we did it because we were a hybrid. We advertised. Our retailers opened up retail sites selling our products. And each one of those retail sites was like a kiosk in a mall, those little kiosks that they have. If you had a kiosk location, you were probably going to make at least $1 million a year on that retail location. It was the most.
Good grief.
Yeah, it was a phenomenon. And what I took into consideration when I put together the network marketing model, it was different than anybody else's, is that I recommend anybody that's going to get into the business, they have to look at it as a business. So, I laid out a few things that they have to do, I think, that's important for them to succeed in network marketing.
Is this from a company point of view or from a networker point of view?
I'm looking at it as a networker point of view. And
Okay,
that's the way that's the way I approached Metabolife. And that's the way we ran the company as our distributors, because when we paid out 85% of all profits that came in, gross profits, went to the distributor. So if you really look at that, most network marketing companies not that way. And we never had, and we didn't have much breakage. If people are in network marketing, you understand breakage is that network marketing companies, when they do their pay plan, they design it where they're anticipating breakage. The more breakage they actually have, the more the company makes as they're recruiting. So we didn't have much breakage. In fact, no one ever requested not to be a distributor. We never dropped them as a distributor. So we had 125,000 distributors, and we didn't have any breakage. So there was this continuous income stream coming up to the upline. And it was done because of our simple pay plan. It was a unilateral pay plan. And if you had 5 or more distributors on your first line, we would take you all the way down to 6 levels that you'd be paid from. And I don't know if people that are watching your program are in network marketing, or they're deciding to come into it, or they're just interested in knowing more about the beast.
Well, most of the people watching this program are going to be CEOs of companies, people like yourself, who've got a product and they want to launch it into the MLM space.
Okay.
And so that kind of would be, those are the people that we're really talking to. From a networker's point of view, I think you're 100% right. You should be looking at a company that has got a simple plan that you understand. But as a company owner, you should be putting in play a plan that is easy to understand so that you're not confusing your people, you're not trying to skin them, etc. I think that's the point you're making here.
Yeah, and if you look at it from the distributor's point of view, if they make money, your company's going to be successful. This is what I would tell anybody that's going to open up a network marketing company. The product has to drive the company, not the distributor recruitment. If you have a product people want, and your company will be successful using distributors, and so and then will the distributor have a personal interest in that product? I mean, if let's say it's a consumable, let's say it's a nutritional supplement or whatever it is, does your distributor, are they sold on it for themselves? Because people are easier, it's easier to sell something when you believe in it. Is it a
Yeah.
one-op product? Meaning, is it a water filter that they're only going to buy one time? That's really not the product. That company can't last long if that's a one-off to people. What's the price point? Um, there's a rule of thumb is that if you want somebody to keep buying something, that magic number is $600 a year. So if you have a product that you have that's a consumable product that people keep continuously buying, think around that number of $600. Okay, that could be $50 a month that the person's buying for your vitamin or whatever it might be. Um, if is it, I don't know what people would want to network market out there, electronics or whatever it might be, but I my expertise is in nutritional supplements, and so I design products that work. People feel. Okay, and I validate it with science. The company did a lot of work validating products. So you're going to have to figure out is put yourself in the distributor's position if you're going to open up a network marketing company. What will make them successful? Not what will make the company successful. What will make the distributor successful? If you do that, you're going to come up with the solution of what kind of products you need and what you're really going to go out there and market. Um, that's the key. And I see a lot of companies. I go through and I look at all these companies, and they're all Me Too companies. If you look at them, they all got skincare, they all got dietary supplements. They all got, what sets them apart from the rest of the pack? What are they? The seagull on the beach fighting over a French fry? That's really the way you have to look at it. Or are you unique? And you don't have to be the first to
Yeah.
market. You just have to give the perception to the consumer when you're marketing to them that you may be first to market and that yours is unique. And it's all in the marketing, network marketing. Okay.
Yeah. And I think you said something when we first chatted, you said something which really resonated with me. And that is that a lot of companies just focus on recruiting and don't focus on their product. And so the only way you can make money is by recruiting people. So if you recruit 5 people, then you're making money, those 5 people are not. So you say that's not a problem. They can recruit 5 people. Now you got 6 people making money, 25 people are not making money. And if you've got that focus on just recruiting, basically you don't have a business. That's just a pyramid scheme.
That's
And
well,
so
yeah,
yeah.
you're absolutely
And
correct.
so your point was that, if I can remember correctly, that it's actually the product is everything, and the person must be able to make a living without recruiting a single person.
Correct. That's where it came in, where they opened up retail locations. They did not recruit. They were doing $1 million in each one of those locations. That was about the average. They were paying up to $20,000 a month for rent for a kiosk because they were making so much money. And so it's because the demand for the product, and that's the key. That's the holy grail, I think, to this industry. If not, you have a third of the people coming in, a third working, and a third leaving all the time. Well, that's not a
Now that churn.
yeah, you're just churning through people, and that's why they call people in network marketing NFLs, no friends left, because they've already hit all their friends and signed them up, and they have this big sign-in dollars where you got to buy this and do that. No, keep it simple, keep it so anybody could enter, and also make it. A lot of people believe in network marketing. You have to come in the beginning of that company to really make it. If that's the case, then that's a pyramid scheme. You make it where whenever they come into your company, if they could be the number one or they could be the 75th, the 75,000th one coming in, they're making money, and there's the same opportunity as the person at the very top. And if you do that, you're thinking about the distributor, your company will work.
And that is actually the secret. The second thing that you did mention, and I'm just going to touch on, is teaching your people why your product is good, getting their belief locked in.
Yeah, and it goes back to the product again. Your product has to work. It can't be a scam. It can't be just smoke and mirrors. It's got to be something. They take mine was consumable. They took my product. They saw the results. They felt the difference. That was an easy sell. Okay, I've seen some of these. They're out there selling these water filters. Now you have to buy one $1,500, and then you do this. And look, the barrier to entry for in this economy, especially, that's way too high. And the person's only going to buy one of those water filters, maybe the greatest water filter on earth, but you're only going to sell them one. You're not going to be able to sell them one every month. So that means they have to constantly be finding a new consumer all the time. Okay, let's look at tires on cars. Think about tires on cars. They have tires that will go a million miles, but why don't they make a tire that will go a million miles? Because the tire industry be
Yeah.
out of business. Okay, so
Yeah, they want repeat business.
you got to
Yeah.
have a product that you can constantly that the consumer will come back to you and buy your product. That a lot of people come up with a great idea, they got a great gadget and everything else, but it's a one-off deal. You're not going to get the consumer again.
Yeah, and that is obviously the trick. If you've got somebody if you've got repeat business and you're a distributor, you set up 100 customers and you've got 100 customers buying from you every month, you've got a rock solid business there.
That's right.
Whereas if you're setting up a business that's just recruiting 100 people, well, as you said, a third are coming, a third are going, and a third are trying, and generally you're not getting the volumes that you would with a solid product and a solid sales strategy. Now, your idea of advertising on behalf of the distributor, that is actually unique. I've never ever seen an MLM company do anything like that. That must have had a huge impact on the people wanting to be part of your business.
It really was. It's because I was like sending them to my stores. And when they if they were an individual distributor that's selling them from their home or they have a retail location, they were my point of purchase, and I advertised. Coca-Cola advertises Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola
Yes.
sold everywhere. That's the key. It sold in every channel you can imagine. My product became so popular for my advertising. I had over 100 knockoffs that I was suing all the time that were attacking my trade dress, everything, trying to bounce off all that advertising I was doing. So I was constantly suing companies and getting them out of business because it became so popular. And I don't care what your product is, as long as it's viable, if you market it correctly, you will make them successful. I think the next
I love
I
this.
think the next phase, truly in network marketing, if someone wants to get into it, is that now I don't know how it is down there in South Africa. I know how it is in the United States. Everybody's getting food delivered to them. Okay, you see all these Jenny Craig. You see all these different companies that are all coming out with these meal plans. Well, there's an opportunity. If somebody, that will take capital to do that. But there's an opportunity because your distributor will also be your customer because your food is good, it's healthy, and it's going to manage their weight or whatever. But you're delivering food. Now you've got, if you can recruit and you can get, let's say, 10,000 distributors, they're all now built their own business. You're drop shipping to the consumer for them, you're doing everything, but they're out there marketing your product word of mouth to everybody. See, because now that we have electronics, everything's changed. Network marketing has been the thing. That's how Christianity got going. It started by one guy, and now it's one of the largest religions in the world. That was network marketing. So a
Yeah.
person will believe somebody if they're their friend, if they're their relative, and they come over their house, they have one of those meals. Oh, I love these meals. Well, let me sign you up on this thing, and now you can get the meals, and you can get other people and sell the meal plans to people. There, I think, is a future for somebody if they want to go into that, because that'll be expensive. They're not going to start. I started my company on $15,000 loan, and it went to, it went astronomical. That doesn't happen now.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the opportunities to use network marketing as a vehicle to drive consumer uptake is powerful. You can do it with almost any commodity, any product. You can actually use network marketing to drive sales and to drive consumer behavior. Um, you've just got to be, as you say, a little bit creative and think a little bit out of the box, especially in the modern era where everything is online. Everybody can access anything anywhere in the world at a moment's notice. You're a click away from almost anything.
Right.
Now, you have a horror story, which I would love you to share if you would like to, with how things went with your business in terms of the FDA and all of that.
Yeah. Well, people have to understand that here in the United States, the Food and Drug Administration, it's the Drug Administration. They are, and it's coming out now more and more in the news. You see that the FDA is actually, become corrupt. They're controlled by the drug companies. In fact, drug companies, if for every product that's approved by the FDA gets paid for it. So all these new drugs you're seeing coming out, these are no more effective, even less effective than the original drugs that came out, but the patent ran out. So FDA is approving these and getting paid for it. It's an unholy alliance. Well, the drug industry does not want the dietary supplement industry around. In fact, they were moving on it in 1994 and earlier to remove the dietary supplement industry in the United States. The consumers came forward and it was overwhelming, and they lobbied Congress, and Congress protected dietary supplements with a Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. That's known as DSHEA, commonly known as DSHEA. FDA never liked that. The pharmaceutical companies never liked that because we could freely sell herbs and dietary supplements. The one caveat is you could not say what it does. So you think about dietary supplements, you go to buy something, it doesn't tell you what it does. Nothing. But any other product on the market, it's either self-explanatory or it explains what the product does. So that was a little move done by the pharmaceutical companies to keep the industry, the herbal industry, from competing with them. Because virtually all drugs that you're seeing today, they derive almost completely from natural ingredients, herbal products. Every single herbal out there, every vegetable has something in it that it can be synthesized and made by the pharmaceutical companies. So that was a competitive thing, and it's gone too far now. Is that the FDA now is getting to the point where they just ban everything. So what happened to us is that we had a product called ephedra, Mao Huang. It was one of the components in our product. Well, that's been around for 5,000 years, and no one's ever had a problem with it. The pharmaceutical companies synthesized one of its main ingredients was called ephedrine and pseudoephedrine, and they made them for cold tablets and everything else. Well, the FDA, once we started getting really big and the industry started growing way fast, the FDA was putting a lot of pressure on the industry that these products were unsafe. So what we did as a company, we went to Harvard, Columbia, Vanderbilt, the big universities here in the United States, and we did clinical trials on it. We even did metabolic chambers where people were put in chambers and they would monitor everything about their existence. And our product was shown to be absolutely safe and effective when used as directed. Obviously, if you take 10 of the tablets instead of 2, that's not safe. So, but the FDA kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and eventually what they did is they used anecdotal reporting. I'll explain what that is. So if one of your people want to get into dietary supplements, they have to know DSHEA, especially in the United States. So what they did is that everything on the market, be it strawberries, be it vitamin C, be whatever you consume,
Hello,
the FDA has an
can you hear
anecdotal
me?
reporting system where if somebody says,
I've
I
lost
had a
him.
heart attack because I
Okay.
took vitamin C, they call in, it's
Just
on a
watch to see
recording,
if
they
he
leave
comes
it,
back
that's
in,
all there
please.
is. There's no follow-up or anything. Okay, so ephedra products had 900 of these reports, anecdotal reporting. Vitamin C had 10,000 or more. But vitamin Bs, they had all these anecdotal reporting, but FDA uses that anecdotal reporting to remove products off the market. Pharmaceutical products have millions of anecdotal reporting every year, and FDA does nothing about it. They don't do anything. So they're attacking this industry, and they attacked me. I was the big player. They attacked me. They attacked us mercifully. As a matter of fact, we were at congressional hearings. They hit me with saying I was a tax fraud. Yeah, so FDA attacked us, and they attacked. They hit us. They said we cheated in our taxes. They said that we lied to them. We did. Oh, there was just this big thing. Now, when it was all said and done, that all washed out. There was no tax fraud. There was nothing. But they used all the agencies to take us out, and they eventually took the product off the market. Which I mean, that devastated our distribution and everything else. Everything just kind of went by the wayside. So the FDA has not stopped what they're doing. So if anybody's going to get in this industry, they've got to be careful because if you are successful, the FDA is going after it. That's why I've opened a website. I've even published a book, and people can get the free audiobook if I can say that. And it gives the story of Metabolife.
No, please
They
give
can,
us what is the name of your audiobook and how can they find it? Let's definitely get that out there.
it's called, it's if you just go and search on your search engine MJ Ellis 1.com. It will take you to that site and you can get a free ebook or you can get a free audiobook off that site. And that explains the story of Metabolife and all the challenges it went through. And so that site is, we're forming a 401c4. And what we're doing is that will be a lobbying because I believe the FDA is the wrong agency to be regulating dietary supplements. I believe our Congress should set up a new agency that believes in them, that's not corrupted by pharmaceutical, that will regulate this industry because over 220 million Americans are taking these products and it's not being regulated correctly. So the consumer doesn't want them to go away. So if that's the case, then they need to regulate it properly and not put the fox in the hen house to try to destroy the industry.
I'm with you. Well, exactly. I mean, obviously, you give the pharmaceutical industry free reign over the nutrition products. I mean, why would they want you to succeed? They're not making any money out of that. You're
That's right.
rewarding them for crushing the nutraceuticals that are out there.
Well, and then look at the CEO of Pfizer was the director of the FDA. This is a revolving door of employees going back and forth. And I think that, I think people are starting to open their eyes up to the pharmaceutical industry. People don't even know how they started. I know this isn't the subject here, but they actually started with Rockefeller and Carnegie. That holistic medicine was the medicine at the time of the turn of the last century. And then what happened was is they saw when Rockefeller was controlling all the petroleum, they could make drugs from petroleum. So what they did is they went out and they did a survey, the Fletcher report it was called, of all the hospitals and everything. And they came back with a study and then they standardized the medical community because it was dying. The Western medicine was dying. So what they did is they funded it with $100 million and then they started discrediting all the herbal industry. And then World War II comes along. In fact, all the pharmaceutical companies were in all the concentration camps of Germany, and they were testing all their drugs on these people and killing them and stuff. And then those people were let off for good behavior, and now they run the pharmaceutical company. So I mean, it's a business. I believe that farm products do good for people, but they also do a lot of harm because their business model is not risk benefit factor anymore. It's we're going to make $5 billion. We're going to kill and hurt people. We're going to get sued out of $1 billion. That makes sense because we made $4 billion. So I think people are starting to see this now. When 2.5 million people a year are going to the hospital with life-threatening events because of properly taking a pharmaceutical product. But in
And
the herbal industry,
yeah, and you can see the same is happening with painkillers. They are the doctors and the pharmaceutical companies are pushing opioids and getting hundreds of thousands of people addicted to them. It's just
and dying,
and
yeah.
dying. Absolutely, it's actually criminal what's happening there. I just don't
Well,
understand it at all.
well, and you look at all the illicit drugs out there. They were all designed in a pharmaceutical company. Now, how did they get out? And all of a sudden, now everybody, it's amazing. So I think people have to take control of their own health, and that's what I believe in traditional Chinese medicine. I truly do. It's been around for thousands of years, and almost everything that afflicts mankind has been designed by the Chinese 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So people has to explore that. Metabolife was designed after traditional Chinese medicine. That's how he designed it. And it was so effective. And I think people have to open their eyes before just taking a drug a doctor tells them to take. They've got to go in and research it, find out what it is, because they don't realize that drug, they're going to be that 1 out of 10 that's going to have a serious adverse event happen to them.
Absolutely.
Well, sorry to go off on the pharmaceutical and the FDA, but that's really what this whole dynamics was about.
Look, it's important because anybody who's getting into the space, any company owner who's getting into the space, a couple of things they got to realize. First of all, this is, if you do it right, this is a multi-billion-dollar business.
Yes.
Multi-level marketing is one of the few industries where you can bootstrap your business because it's a cash upfront business. You're getting your money before the product leaves the shelves. So if you've got a 30 or 60-day payment plan with your suppliers and they've got a fairly quick turnaround time, let's say a 4 to 6 week turnaround time, you can bootstrap your business and you can, with as you say, with $15,000, you can build a billion-dollar company. So that's
Oh,
the first
there's
thing.
no
Sorry.
there's no doubt. Absolutely, you're correct.
100%. Now, the second thing is that if you build a billion-dollar company in the space where you are operating, you have to be aware that you are going to come under fire, guaranteed. Because
Guaranteed.
the heavyweights out there, you're going to be denting their turnover, and you put a dent in their turnover, they got to come out after you. Why wouldn't they? It just makes complete logic sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it will happen. You know, it's that once we hit that magic number, that's when all the heat started on us. So it, uh, look, the pharmaceutical industry spends more money than anybody lobbying Congress. Why do they do that?
Of course,
You
to
know,
protect the
yeah,
industry, protect
that's,
themselves.
and anybody that's in business will go out and lobby for their business, which I understand. But you know, it's a category that you have to make sure you need legal counsel constantly, and with everything from labeling to everything, you are going to be dealing with things that you can't even imagine. There'd be a fireman if you're going to get in the dietary supplement industry. But you know, to get back to the dietary supplements, I think that I mean to the network marketing, I think that people have to be creative. Don't follow everybody else. You follow them. You're just a me too, and now you're doing the same thing to them, and as all the other companies are doing. Now, you know, just because you open a network marketing company doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Most are not. So I think what you have to do is that there's people that will listen to this. They know, that somebody out there's got the next great thing. I really believe that. Go at it smart. Go at it as if you were a distributor. What would take you you know, what would take you to buy that, to get involved in? Because you're asking them to give up hours. See, what's beautiful about network marketing is that if you're the best attorney in the world, let's say you get paid $2,500 an hour, how many hours can you work a week? 50? You're limited on how much you can make. But if you are a network marketing company or you are a distributor, you have thousands of people giving maybe 10 hours a week, spending basically hundreds of thousands of hours making you money. Either you're if you're a distributor or you're the company.
Yes.
That's you can't duplicate that.
No. And that's what makes this such an incredible business. It's that
It is.
it's the point of being able to leverage a little bit of time from a lot of people. I can't remember
Right.
who said it, but I think it was Paul Getty that said, "I'd rather have a 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own." Um,
That's right.
and that's the concept here with multi-level marketing. And
You know, and you're right, especially with today's. Look at the entry to the barriers that you have now. Is that go into business now? Well, let's go at Walmart because they're big in the United States. Walmart's not just a wholesale, I mean, a dry good. They sporting good. They're a liquor store. They're a grocery store. They're a drug store. They're eye care. They're everything. So a person to go out and open their small business,
very
they're
different.
not going to be successful. But if you're behind a network marketing company that is successful, you have a big company behind you to help you become successful.
Exactly.
That's important. If that company has got the right intentions and how they design their company.
Exactly. And look, I don't know if you've actually worked with the big retailers, but to get your product, if you're a product manufacturer and you want to get your product into one of the big retailers, that's a massive job. You've got to go to the buyers. Then the buyers say, okay, we'll list you and it's going to cost you X $100,000 to get your product onto the shelf. Then they're going to charge you for where they put it on the shelf. Then there's minimum quantities that you've got to buy. And then if they pay you on time, they want a kickback. And if they hit targets, they want another kickback. And they want you to contribute to their advertising and their marketing. And then they keep your money for 60, 90, 120 days. And they call that legitimate business. Well, that sounds like a fat scam to me. I mean, I don't want to be coming down on the retail stores, but if I had a product and I was going to market with it, that is the last way I would take it to market. Whereas with multi-level marketing, you go to a person, you say, listen, we're providing the infrastructure. Why don't you take this infrastructure behind you and you be our marketing arm? And it's a very, very simple way to break into the market and scale your business organically over time.
Right. And if you're going to open a network marketing company, if you've never been in it before, what you should do is, and when you're starting your business, you have to act as one of those distributors because you're going out trying to recruit people. See, now you'll start to see what they're seeing out there. It's really important. Unless you walk in somebody else's shoes, you don't know what it's like. So you want to walk in their shoes, and then you're going to see the pitfalls of your own company and open your mind up. We don't get bullheaded and tunnel vision. Open your mind up and listen to what those people are telling you. Stay very connected in the beginning with your distributors because they're going to give you feedback all the time on the challenges they have out there and also the successes they had. Duplicate the success, try to eliminate the issues. I always approach a business this way. And I'm in many different businesses. I'm starting another company too with dietary supplements.
Is
Uh,
it going to be an
and
MLM play?
what's that?
Are you doing it as an MLM play?
All the former distributors, I've gotten thousands calling me, wanting me to do it. I haven't made up my mind yet because I am now 70 years old. Look, you can see my wrinkles. And so, but
Well,
I always
I
do
can't
this.
see them from here. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. Well, this is the way I look at every business. If you ever seen those little puzzles where they put the leprechaun and then they have a little pot of gold here and then they've got these little paths you can take.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and then you'll hit a dead end, then you got to go back and do another way and everything else. If you start from the pot of gold and move back to the leprechaun, you'll never make a mistake. It's the most amazing thing. It's you follow it and you'll never make the dead end mistake. So what you want to do is that's how you want to approach your business. This is where you want to be. Okay, you don't start from here to where you want to be. From here, you want to see all the challenges going back to where you are. If you approach your business that way, you'll you're being enlightened, and those distributors that you're working with, that is your pot of gold, and then you're working with them, and then you're going to see all the challenges to get to where really you want to get with your company.
And you know something, Michael, you said something very important there that I just like to touch on, is that when you start one of these businesses, you should be in the field doing the work because that is the only way you will ever understand the challenges that your networkers have. If you haven't
That's
done it
right.
yourself, how do you know what's going on there?
And you will fix your company to meet the challenges. If you don't know what they are, you could fail and not even know why you failed.
100%. Couldn't agree
So
with you
it
more.
doesn't take a lot of money. It takes a lot of commitment,
Yeah.
and you have to build that credibility. The only way to do that is you'll get a core people that will work with you like a team, and they're your distributors, and they will teach you what you need to know.
Yeah, I've seen so many CEOs who try and treat their network as if they were employees. And then they wonder
Mm-hmm.
why they don't get anything out of their network. You know, sit down, shut up, face the front, and do what I say. And then they wonder why they're not successful. But as you say, this is actually a team effort. And you just wanted the members of the team as the CEO of the company.
That's what it is. And they'll always look at you that way because then they know they have you. And if there's a real issue, they're going to call you. And don't filter through all these other people. You're going to have a core. Let's say it's 50 people that have started with you and you're going down. When they call you, you pick up the phone. You have not gotten better than them or anything else. You're just like they are. It's a team effort. You said the word team. Listen to them. My phone was always open for distributors. Now we had so many, obviously, where there were other different things that was handled by different divisions of the company. But when it came to things like the your core business, listen to what they have to say,
Yeah.
because they will lead you. You're not the leader. Actually, they are. They're the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah. But they are the goose that lays the golden egg. And I think that's
That's
what a
right.
lot of CEOs don't actually realize. They think they're all that. They think they're the important one in the business. They think they're making it happen because they're making the decisions. But the reality is that that's not the truth.
That's not the truth. And the distributor has to look at it that way. When they're going to sign up to be a distributor, they have to do a business plan. Okay. And can I sell? No. Okay. How do I deal with me not being able to sell? Am I networked? No. Somebody could be not networked very well. Okay. Well, those are challenges. Well, we have the internet and everything else. Well, on the internet, it's very competitive. Pretty soon, distributors are discounting and everything else so they can get pricing and stuff like this. Well, to the company, that makes almost no difference if they're a network marketing company, because they're still buying product from them. But to your distributors, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so you can't price fix. These are challenges that you have to think about. And if people are out there competing against each other on your same product, it means people want the product. So it's a double-edged sword. So, I mean, there's it's a very different business. Do not think of it like you're running a Walmart or any other retail site. You have to think at that level down here with the distributor. If you do that, you can be successful.
So now the one thing I'd like to ask you, Michael, if I was starting an MLM business, are there any books you would recommend that I read before I get started?
I think you should read as much as you can, and also I don't know any specific book, because my book it spells the journey. It doesn't really talk about. It talks about how I actually made it work, which is interesting. But you know, the most of the books that I have read on network marketing, it's still the old type of network marketing. The old type of network marketing it's like now picking know who's got a home phone now. We all have cell phones. Things change. So you have to think outside of that box. I'd follow some basic general rules of network marketing, but I to understand pay plans and things like that. But I think that you have to think outside of the box, because the dynamics of our industry is changing so fast because the dynamics of society is. So, you could be selling a product. Your distributor could sell a product to somebody's in Japan and they live in California. It's because now the way everything's gone. Um, I don't know of any specific book that I could say go there and this guy really did a good job, or this woman did a good job of writing this thing. But I think what you have to do is listen. I would go out, and Amway's been around a long time. I don't know anybody buys an Amway product. And I've sat into the things and I've asked them. They said, "Well, if you had your own store, wouldn't you buy your own? Wouldn't you use your own products?" I go, "Yeah, but I wouldn't go spend $200,000 to open a store filled with inventory, and I'm the only customer." Okay,
Yeah, that good point.
okay, but Amway's huge. They've been around forever, but I don't know anybody using Amway product, and I've met a lot of people. So go and sit in all their little presentations. They have them online. Listen what they have to say. See where you can modify what you want to do for your network marketing company. Because we were a hybrid, and if I do a network marketing company again, which I'm getting a lot of pressure to do, um, believe me, I've already got a completely different marketing strategy and everything else. Very simple pay plan. I'm not pitching anybody even goes. I haven't even opened the company yet. We're still forming things, and we don't know which way to go, because I'm getting pressures from. We've already talked to retailers. They'll take whatever I make, because Metabolife eventually evolved into the retail stores, and we're the number one or two best seller of Walmart in history. So I mean, so I've got that in. So I don't know. At 70 years old, I don't know if I have the energy. And you got to have a lot of energy being network marketing.
Well, just to be in business in general,
Yeah, yeah.
got to have serious energy because it's not for the faint of heart.
No, and I can't
No.
get any of my kids to want to get involved. So they're all adults and they have their own mission in life.
Well, what did Elon Musk say? He said running a business is like staring into the abyss while chewing glass.
I got another thing. If you want to be successful in business, get away from family and friends because
Yeah,
they have a perception of you. They don't know you. You don't know what drive you have in me. When I made it, my family was shocked and friends. I can't believe it because you don't know me.
yeah.
Don't They're going to tell you what they can't do, not what you can't do. You don't listen to them because they'll say no, no, you can't do this. Can't. No, you have to really take upon yourself to trust yourself and go out there and work hard, but work smart.
So let's say if you have a good product, if you've got real passion, if you've got a great work ethic, and just a few dollars, you can actually start an MLM business, and through the sweat of your brows, you could ramp it up. Would you say that is a true statement?
I think that's correct for both the company and for the distributor. There's
Mm.
no difference. The company is no different than the distributor. It's the same business model for them as it is for you. Now, how would you, as a company, help them be successful? And it's not just putting on these big symposiums and all these big rah 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 things. I never put one on. It's it's that connection with your distributor. You connect with them. This could all work for you.
It's the community side of it. We're part of
Mm-hmm.
a community.
That's what it becomes. And you know what? And so and because you have distributors, you have a moral obligation. More so, you're asking all these people to give up their time and their lives on your dream that's become their dream. That is a moral obligation. When I end up going into retail stores because I had to, because Walmart was knocking us off with another product, I gave my distributors $40 million. I didn't have to do that. My contracts precluded me from doing. I didn't have to. There was clauses in there, but it was the moral thing to do. So that's what you have to stay. If you keep to your morals and your values, your distributors are going to know that, and they're going to feel safe with you,
Yeah,
and they're not going to
100%.
walk away and tell other people they're just a scam.
No,
And that's
exactly.
what happens with time in network marketing.
So often. Well,
So often.
Michael, this was an absolutely epic discussion. I really loved it.
Well,
Um,
thank you. I hope I didn't veer off too much on pharmaceutical and all that other stuff. I didn't mean to, but
No, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to chat with you. I mean, what an epic story. It's fantastic. People need to know about these things. You know, we've got guys all over the world who are starting these businesses and they need to know the pitfalls. It's no good just telling them about the, hey, wow, it's all wonderful roses and flowers. You know, they've got to know what they're in for. And so these kind of stories are invaluable. You know, you've trod this road, you've walked this road, and now anybody coming after you literally can say, okay, well, I can follow that road. That road has already been walked. This is the pitfalls. They can read your book. They can see how the thing went. They can avoid those issues. Can you just give us that book again, that site?
yes, it's called the Metabolife Story, and the site is M like in Michael, J like in Joseph, Ellis, Ellis, just the number 1.com. There's no gimmicks, no anything. I just want the story out. I wrote so the story would be out. They can get the ebook or they can get the audio. And it's a very in fact, it's my first book I wrote. I'm planning on writing another book, and it got the highest ratings of any book that you can get of any category. So I think people will be interested in the story. It takes it from the part. It starts from the position of a deposition because that can bring in timelines and everything through depositions, and then it gets into the story and it gets really really interesting and all the challenges we had and how successful the company was.
And if anybody's getting into the herbal medicines and is going to be looking at this, it would obviously be a must read, no question.
I think I wish I could have read this thing myself before I got into it. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing what
So
can
why
happen.
didn't you write it earlier? Then you would have been able to read it.
Yeah, before I got involved. Well, actually, I finished writing it in 2009, and I went out. It did quite well. I went ahead and changed some things in the book, and then I'm relaunching it now because I am doing a move to remove the FDA from our industry, and it's going to be, that we're trying to get citizens again, like we did in '94 with DeShay, because I believe that in dietary supplements, if it's historically been used for something and it's been effective, you should be able to stay on the bottle that vitamin D, historically used for heart health. I don't see what a problem is with that, but FDA does, and so does FTC. So there's got to be some changes in the industry, and then I think that will open it up for everybody to go out there with viable products that's improving the health of people.
Yeah, rather than just treating sickness.
That's all. Managing disease. That's all they do. They give you a pill to manage your disease your whole life.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, thank you very much. It was really great chatting with you. As soon as this is up, I'll send you a link, and I'm looking very forward to getting this live on our channel. It was a wonderful conversation. Greatly appreciate
and I'll let you know if I want to start another network marketing company. I'll let you know.
Yeah, I'd like to be the first person to know. Awesome. Thanks so much,
right.
Michael. You have a good evening, or good day. It's evening my side. It's morning your side, I presume.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Hey, thank you very much, Richard.
Okay. You go well. Cheers, Michael. Bye.
Bye-bye.